Shalom, fellow Ambazonians. Good morning. Today na Saturday, number 15 day for this month for April 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, wona own countryman, Ambazonian FBI, Mr. No Connie. I don come again for una once more with our daily podcast, a program where I dey bring una the truth, I dey bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work up for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, before we get into the crux of issues in our liberation struggle today, I want to remind our people them, say, over 6 pikin them they ran die for inside the Savannah state for the great state of Boyo. As a result, say they ran take some medicine where they be produced by a company they call say Franken. The medicine they call a nochocol. Now medicine we pikin they take them if they get fever. So and then if they get flu symptoms them. I want to remind our people and say medicine where you buy them, we no be for pharmacy. We no be for person where they go take medicine for supplier, then where they come where they don't check their license, them where they be responsible. People they need to be very careful. Most of those medicine them, they are fake medicine the way they make them with chemical, the way you know if you be sure. Especially for picking them way them be below 6 years old to 8 years old, their system them still be very weak. It be better say me parents them, then make sure say that they double check the source for their medicine. Especially for this picking them for below this age, it be very sad for here say 6 of our picking they ran die for inside Fundong district there for Boyo. As a result, say they don't buy medicine where the medicine is strong or we get chemical the way it not be correct. What people they need to be aware about this type of situations them until we go be responsible for our own country, for be capable for make sure say the type of medicine the way this be sell on our streets and are being given to our children under control or at least verified by professionals in that field. People should be very mindful, especially when giving medicine to children. Adults are a little bit tolerant, but little children you should never take a chance when you give medicine to young children. Those children died because those medicine destroy their kidneys. Still for the Savannah state, La Republique du Cameroun, their colonial government, it done bring in lot of bags, then say 2,000 bags of fertilizer for help for yam for farmer the way they want grow coffee them for across Ambazonia. Period they want grow coffee beans and cocoa. Ambazonia now a big supplier chain for part of the chain way La Republique de provide and guarantee the supply for Arabic and Robusta coffee for inside the global market chain. And the Cameroon government they ran begin fail for media quarter for coffee and cocoa. These are one of the biggest area where our farmers they be exploited. Ambazonian farmers them now one of the most lowest paid in the entire Africa and the whole world as a whole. Our farmers they are being used as slave workers to feed the food chain for the international community for supermarkets across the globe, especially for France. Now why that way the Cameroon government it can supply free fertilizer them because they know say na the ngundu work for inside Ambazonia. Would I ban? I support the ban. My platform support the ban of all export crops from our territory. The La Republique, they say the production of this Arabic cocoa and Robusta coffee, they can be at a decline in an alarming rate coming from our territory, especially from the Savannah state, and the one can give free fertilizer. This is not free. Nothing is free. La Republique du Cameroun, they don't target place where they sell fertilizer for people ready they take fertilizer for go work farm for inside for grow beans, for grow the various type them for potatoes for inside the banso. They don't go attack market, target this particular shop when I be the main supplier for fertilizer because they want attack our food source, give we collective punishment so that may go be that theory way the Russian leader be talk say for make me a bed turn slave. You go take that bed, you cut the feather, then put them. If you work at 3 granite, it go come back for you. The one for make we go become that slaves them, that worst quality of human beings them, by making us to be so poor that we will depend on them for everything and our survival. Our people must be wise and educated of the bigger picture of what is happening. A country that destroys fertilizer suppliers will not be coming to provide fertilizer for nothing. This fertilizer, they are giving it so that it will help them to export coffee and cocoa. Coffee and cocoa have no place right now in Ambazonia. And all Ambazonian fighters should implement the Haiti solution, a complete halt, destruction of all critical infrastructure that supplies the food chain that helps Cameroon government to gain loans and to have relationship with the international community. Every cocoa and coffee production should stop completely, except our forces have guaranteed with the producers that those marketing the coffee and cocoa will do so through Biafra or Nigeria. Any coffee, and I'll say this in particular to the particular trade unions that have been involved in receiving this donation from La Republique du Cameroun, the so-called Northwest Cooperative Association, where their president Peter Ndikwa Bayu, I want to send this warning for ye. Say the money where they don't come bribe farmer them. Say me they start produce cash crop for help La Republique. They don't stop our own infrastructure. They be produce fertilizer, help our farmer them have to grow, chop them during the time for Southern Cameroons, where Ambazonia be still being a Southern Cameroons. They don't destroy them all. Now the one turn win for their Ngundu work for begin make money for their country. It no go work and it no go be accepted. Farmers and where they for inside Oko, the one where they for inside Boyo, and the one where they for inside Bui and Dunga where they target them for supply them this free fertilizer will be meant only for coffee and cocoa grower them. Make all una take that fertilizer if una don't already take them. Go use them for una farm them for work na potatoes. Before una want take them, una contact the Ambazonian forces the way them be in charge for una zone. Me then supervise them. Otherwise, make una not even touch them with una hand. For inside Oko, I ring Yanshe where they don't give naive for the one for inside Oko, make it report to the nearest Ambazonian barracks for explain itself and for guarantee say that manure where they don't give for ye, that white man manure, it go be used not only for crops where it go the sell and for buy chop for picking never has, for go school and for feed our economy. It not go be used for cash crop because those cash crop they go back for go supply La Republique, money them and loans them where they go take them back and begin kill our people them for Oko. Now the same country this way can born hospital for inside Oko. Today they detox them one give we manure. We say our midino we be dey. We be do research for our farmer, the work of a farmer, then go give them thing them free. It no be the come nothing for benefit international community. It will be nothing them first benefit our local economy and strategically for empower our own people them for create their credit union them. When at the farmer they be the manager, they gather their coffee and cocoa, they bargain collectively with the international community before they go sell them for Tico, for inside the Tico day for transit zone them for day. Who's our own company then the way they run destroy them. So me wanna know say these people they can't talk say me will grow cocoa and coffee. No between way they talk say it go help we. Na slavery way it go help na them. Na investment for their plantation, their slave plantation farm. So all cocoa and coffee supplying through La Republique or potentially to supply in La Republique should be stopped. And all Ambazonians have my blessing, and this is a policy of my platform that all of them should be stopped. And you have a responsibility if you are fighting for this country, for freedom for Ambazonia to do so. And our people have to know something. The ability for us to win this our war, I will say this because there have been a lot of concern raised reasonably so by our people as a result of my resignation. I don't avoid forget into any details for my resignation because it contains very classified information where it protect our national security. We will not make the enemy know our mindset of the leadership, how they process information and how they take decision them. We don't need to expose all those things then. But we need to know say the purpose why would he uphold all those principles now for the public interest. It be paramount. Whatever oath we take, whatever thing we are doing, the public interest is paramount and can override all those interests. Once it becomes a public interest for this information to be put out there, I will put them out there as I decide to do so. That is why even classified informations are sometimes declassified, because the reasons that it was meant to protect those information, those sensitivity, are no longer in existence. Our people should know that I have put out information of what I plan to do, basically in a very brief way, and I have been forced to push even more information and reveal what I'm planning to do and what I am doing already, because of some unnecessary public statements that have been made that need me to come out and clarify. And recently, in a public forum, the Ambazonian Governing Council platform, where we exchange ideas as a community in the Ambazonian Governing Council, the spokesman of the Ambazonian Governing Council have again come out to make a statement, and I will read the statement that he made. He said that no, everyone now openly knows the external influence, motives for the exit. That is referring to my resignation from my positions within the AGOVC. Saying anything or whatever is part of a noise for social media attention. The liberation is no longer on social media. And this put into question my motivation of why I resigned from the AGOVC. And I'm going to respond to give our people the reason why I explain keeping sensitive things that are not necessary for the public consumption back as much as necessary. If the Ambazonian Governing Council ask or they challenge my motivation, then I am obligated to give an explanation to our public. Our people should know this thing before I get to this topic. There is only one way for Ambazonia to have her independence. Only one way. Through the international community. Pressure from the international community. Nothing else can give us independence. We will never attain independence by breaking down Cameroon economy so much that Cameroon will surrender. Why? I'll give you the example. The Cameroon is so poor and so primitive. They have never known anything for the past decades under Paul Biya. And because of this war, and the psychology in La Republique is that Ambazonian being with La Republique benefits them a little bit. Remember that Cameroon used to be a country of coupé de route, armed robbers, kidnappers, people who had always known violence, brutality by the French government since the French took over that country. They have really never known better. They have always been undermined by their own people. Their political system put in place by France, their parliament were all people selected, not elected like us. So they have very little sense of dignity and human pride left in them after all these years of abuse by the French. Because of our petroleum, most Francophones in their mindset, that means French Cameroon citizens, they know that the petrol that comes from Ambazonia helps them indirectly, whether they like it or not. And they would prefer that they hold that petrol at every cost. That's why in their mind they are quiet about the atrocity Paul Biya is doing. As a matter of fact, this war have benefited Paul Biya, who was in decline in his own country. Today, their people think that they need Paul Biya to keep Ambazonia in the stage in which we are. Yes, they don't like the way he fights Ambazonia. They don't like his atrocity. But for the most part, Francophone people, they support that they should hold Ambazonia in every means possible. So the possibility that poverty will make Cameroon to reject Ambazonia is low. Poverty will only bring chaos and affects international support, because the international community will always bail out countries. They will not allow Cameroon to collapse. They will always give as essential money as possible to sustain or at least keep the country afloat. But they don't want to give those money to sustain Cameroon because it does not give them any benefit after a long time. So they will be forced to put pressure on Cameroon to give Ambazonian freedom if they have pressure or they have incentive. So whatever we do to Cameroon is geared to have a domino effect in the international community so that we will have what we need. Our independence will not come from Cameroon. It has to come from Cameroon because Cameroon is our colonial master, but it will come from Cameroon as a result of international pressure. So anybody who have any thinking about something else or think that we are going to kill everybody in Cameroon or their military completely, 100%, before we have an independence, probably have not think it through. Whatever we do, in anything I do, in my calculation before I fully endorse the agenda for independence and separation, is based on this calculation that yes, it is possible for us to beat all the odds and get the pressure we need and the right attention from the international community that will make us to be capable of exercising our right of self-determination for independence. I believe so. By implementing the Haiti solution, by making sure that we increase the cost of the occupation, make our territory ungovernable, to prove to the world that Cameroon have lost its legitimacy, and give them a reason to look for justice for our people. I believe that we are capable of doing so. I believe so. That is why I'm in this struggle, and I believe we can do it if our people can hold on to the pillars of our resistance while we engage with the international community. The reason why I stepped down is because we have compromised our ability to get the international community to help and free us when we had the chance. In my workings with the Ambazonian Governing Council, it has nothing to do with any other motive, like the spokesman Lucas Asu is trying to claim. Let him know that I came into the Ambazonian Governing Council for a purpose, to fight for my country, and our people have to know that. We are not fighting for groups. We are not fighting just for organization. Those organizations are very important because that is how we approach a liberation struggle. But they do not triumph. They do not go over our fighting for Ambazonia. They should know that. I have been accused of being influenced by the Canadians, being influenced by Beneza Akwanga, being influenced by outsiders, Seseko Ayoktabi's IG, being influenced by everybody. This is an insult. It is an insult. Our people who have followed me knows better. I have been motivated by our public interest and our goal for independence from day one, and that is why I am in this struggle, and it will never change. And I will always take decisions that put our people, our goal for independence, ahead of any other thing. My conversation and interaction shows that even the leadership of the AGOVC was thinking that, oh, I'm so hard because I want them to come and beg me. I'm doing things for them to come and beg me. This struggle is too big for anybody's ego to come on the way in what we do. We are all human beings. We have our egos, we have our pride, we have our A, B, C, D. But when you look at the people who have given all, died for the struggle, you can never allow your ego to override your nationalism and patriotism. And I will never, and I have never let that happen. So I can guarantee our people to understand this. And I'm going to explain to our people exactly why I left the AGOVC. It is because the Ambazonian Governing Council's positions in these pre-talks, right up to this last week, that it has reached a critical stage with the delegation of the Canadians coming back from La Republique du Cameroun, have shown that we have lost a chance that was given to us in the Canadian talks. The engagement of Cameroon with the Americans to try to have negotiation in itself is an indication of what is happening in the international community. The United Nations that have been pressured by the 5 big powers, the Americans, the British, the Germans, and all, even including the French, who had put pressure on the international system to bring Paul Biya on the negotiation table, have instead seen that we, the Ambazonian people, have not taken the chance that we have because of irrational decisions that was made by the AGOVC against every other rational thinking that the AGOVC leadership have even expressed during this engagement. I cannot continue to work under the AGOVC when I know that the wrong assumptions that had led us to lose this big chance still exist. That thinking is still there. I cannot work in that environment. But I cannot abandon advocating for our country and for things that I believe will make us to take the opportunities that we have. Remember that I cleaned the image of Ambazonia. I cleaned the image of Ambazonia to gain the international community interest using the work of our soldiers and everybody. I will do a comprehensive presentation to explain to our people exactly what is going on, because it is of public interest to know what Capo Daniel, your own spokesman, have done. I'll give you a detail, keeping things that needs to be kept secret, but I'm going to respond to what the Ambazonian Governing Council spokesperson have put out there in public about my motivation, so that you know exactly what motivates me to do the things I'm doing. What I'm doing for my country, to fight diplomatically to be able to advocate positions that will help us to attain our independence. We had Cameroon on their canvas. We had a commitment for a negotiation that includes independence, but we have lost it because of partisanship and miscalculation as a result of people having a more concern. People are more concerned about popularity and power of others than the common good of Ambazonia. We have crossed that line. That is why I came out of the AGOVC. I was triggered by behaviors, statement, consensus that those same calculation will continue. I have stood for the principles that I've stood for publicly and privately within the organization. And when I see that it was no longer possible for me to uphold the public interest that I believe, I was at divergence with the leadership of the AGOVC in this matter to get the international community, to get Cameroon to do the right thing. I had no choice but to resign. And I've resigned. I've lived the struggle. And it's very important for our people, because if I resign and I leave the struggle with the amount of people I have brought in, giving them hope, and then they see me, I come out, I leave the struggle, leaving it in the hands of people that I know are not doing the right thing, are taking decisions, not putting the country ahead, but having wrong conclusion. It's a matter of wrong conclusion, not betrayal. Wrong conclusion, wrong calculation that have cost us the biggest opportunity we have. The biggest opportunity we have. The sympathy and empathy of the international community that we had going in for the pre-talks, we have lost them. And if you need to read the sign, you see Cameroon discussing with the Americans already. The same Americans who call us Ambazonians in a joint sessions that was kept in closed door to assure us of their backing of what have unfolded in Canada. We have all messed it up, putting groups ahead of country. But I say we because it is a collective failure. But the AGOVC, that is the hope for Ambazonia, with the leader who is selfless, being fed by bad advisors, take decisions based on wrong assumptions that have compromised and destroyed the glimpse, I put it in the word of our international partners, a glimpse of hope to have a comprehensive negotiated solution to end the war with Cameroon and give us a possibility to have our independence. That momentum internationally have gone. It has gone completely. And our leadership must take stock of their calculation. Our prisoners who were waiting to be released from prison as confidence building measures. Our hope to see Cameroon military being pulled back to their barracks with the hope that they will be pulled out of our country. All of those opportunities have come and gone because our leadership had wrong calculations, make wrong decisions that have drawn us back. And I will not sit there and continue if I believe that the calculation and the thinking of that leadership is still doing the same projection. You see, in the Ambazonia, you have the All Ambazonian Conference coming in Canada. The biggest ever monitored international events. All the whole world, from the Japanese government, the French government, the United States government, the Canadian government, the German government, are all observing what is happening in this All Ambazonian Conference. And we have the pre-tour. You go to Canada, you see only the Ambazonian Governing Council there, with the vice president running with a Connie coat around there alone. Where are all the coalition that are in Canada with him there? Where are all the coalition? Where are those coalition? So I'm going to have a comprehensive accountability to our people to answer what the statement that the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council have put out there. Join me live for a comprehensive public accounting for what has happened.